Alright, starting off with our first gasser, we have this super clean, bright red Chevy Bel Air gasser. Just an absolutely super cool looking gasser, and it's just absolutely insane at how crazy the paint is on this thing. And just an absolutely beautiful gasser once again, with all the chrome accents in the interior and the wheels. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this 55. Now moving on to the front end, we have no front bumper in front, but we have a front black sway bar, with the entire front end being paint matched in that beautiful red color, with the silver grille and silver headlights on both sides, with the classic Chevy badge, along with the classic Chevy hood ornament on the hood as well. And if you can see there, we have a hood scoop through the hood of this 57 Chevy, which is just an absolutely super clean front end. Now moving on to the rims, we have these silver 5-spoke rims by, I don't know who they're by, but as you can see through the side, we have that white exhaust, and as we go through the side of this car, we have a matching set of these rims on those classic drag slicks, which is just an amazing touch to this gasser, which is just an absolutely super clean set of rims. Now moving on to the rear end of this car, we have a silver rear bumper all the way around the back there, as you can see, along with the super clean taillights on both sides of the trunk, along with the trunk being that beautiful black color with that decal in the back, followed by the classic Chevy badge as well, which is just an absolutely super clean 57. Now moving on to a rather unusual gasser. This is a Ford Ranch Arrow gasser that has had the tailgate completely deleted and replaced with plexiglass, and it's just awfully strange to see a Ranchero turn into a gasser. So without further ado, let's get into this crazy gasser. Starting off with the front end, we have no front bumper once again, but we do have a silver grille with headlights on both sides of the grille as well. Along with that, there is the silver grille, and we can see the radiator through the grille as well. And as we move on to the hood, we have hood pins and an intake with the carburetor sitting right there on top, which is super cool to see a clear hood scoop. And this hood does have 4 hood pins, so the hood comes completely off when they take those hood pins off, but that is just a super clean front end. Now moving on to the rims. These have to be my favorite rims I've seen on a gasser. We have silver 5 spokes, and through there we can see the engine, the chassis, and the exhaust. And as we follow the sides of this Ranchero with the red windows, might I add, which is a super cool touch to this gasser, we have not a matching set of these rims, but absolutely beautiful set of rims. And just look at how thick those tires are. Just absolutely super thick tires and just a super clean set of rims. Now moving on to the rear end, in replace of a rear bumper, we have a silver bar that goes all the way across the rear bumper with the super clean red taillights on both sides of the rear end as well. And as I pointed out earlier, we have a red plexiglass tailgate with holes in it and 4 pins on both sides. And another crazy thing is that there's a hole in the bed with red plexiglass covering it. And we can see the battery relocation kit and the gas can for this car is in the bed, along with the roll cage that it comes from the cab as well, which this is just an absolutely unusual and super clean gasser. Now moving on to a very unusual car. This is all the gassers that I've seen in person and both online. This is the first one I've seen of this car. If you guys don't know what this is, it is a 54 Ford Ranch Wagon. So let's get into it. Starting off with the front bumper, we have a gray front grille with the beautiful Ford Ranch Wagon headlights there, with the more of the grille with the lights on both sides of the grille as well. And there we can see the subframe, suspension pieces, all the super cool, awesome things to make this car a gasser, along with some crazy pinstriping on the hood and lowrider-like designs on the hood as well, with a blower air intake through the hood, which is just absolutely insane and just super cool artwork on the hood. Now moving on to the rims, we have these super cool black and silver rims with a white exhaust there, as you can see. And as we follow the side of this absolutely beautiful Ford Ranch Wagon all the way to the back, we can see that we don't have a matching set of rims, and we also have an eyeball for the air cap there. Some vintage drag racing slicks that this car is on, and just a absolutely super clean wheel setup. Now moving on to the rear bumper. This is a new one. The rear bumper has been replaced by two silver chrome metal pipes in the back, with the rear bumper being deleted and the entire rear end being paint matched to the rest of the car, along with those super unique taillights that are only on this Ford Ranch Wagon. And along on the back, we have more insane pinstriping and more of that absolutely beautiful lowrider designs there in the back as well. That super crazy badge as well, and just an absolutely insane gasser and insane paint job. Alright, now moving on to an even crazier gasser, we have a Chevy C10 truck that has been converted into a gasser. And if you guys go watch our drag racing at the Mooneyes New Year's Party 2023 video, I believe it is in part 1, you can see the one and only run that this truck made this day, which it just absolutely hauls. Starting off with the front end of this truck, we have no front bumper, but those absolutely beautiful headlights with the chrome grille, along with the black front sway bar in the front as well. And as we move on up to the front end, we have paint matched front areas over there. And as we move on all along the side fender, we have some gold edging there and a black hood with a cutout for what is in the engine bay. An absolutely giant supercharger with a blower, which is just absolutely insane. Getting more in depth into the engine bay, the entire engine bay itself has been basically deleted, with those gold chrome headers, air intake, black supercharger, just absolutely beautiful engine. It's a big block V8 supercharged with a blower, more cooling stuff, the hood pins for the hood so the hood doesn't fly off, and we can see the chassis that is on this truck. Just absolutely insane engine. Now moving on to the rear end, we have the electronic connectors there, no rear bumper in the back, a matching set of taillights on both sides of the truck there, as you can see, with the silver parachute, which he has made in a custom housing for the parachute, which is super cool. And we can see the parachute lines through there that connect to into the bed of this absolutely beautiful C10. More of the parachute line there that releases the parachute when he's done with his run, and the tailgate being held on by the original straps. Now, as we move on to the bed, we have most of the engine bay shaved, except for the wheel wells. We have the battery relocated in the back, the fuel cell as well in the back. The more of the bed just cut away, the exposed diff there, more cooling stuff in the back, a gold roll cage that has made its way to take over all of the bed in the back there as well, which is just super clean. And this truck is just a full-blown race car. As we move on to the interior, we can see we have old school bucket seats with the straps, with the pads for your head on top of the roll cage, a custom handbrake, gold roll cage all around, silver dashboard with electronic dash, quick release steering wheel with a hook, which is super cool on the roll cage. The switches, more of that digital dashboard, switches there, temp gauges there, just an absolutely super clean interior and a super clean Chevy C10. Alright guys, if you stuck around this video all the way to the end, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and just comment on this video what your favorite car was. It seriously helps us out, and it's going to help us bring you even more crazier content than this video. See you in the next one.